West. Rookie CJ West suffered a hyperextended knee in practice today. This comes via Kyle Shanahan. The same injury suffered by Mykel Williams. West could be out for at least a week. Let's start with you, Sterling. How significant of an injury is this for the 49ers?
Well, if he's back by week 1, I don't think it matters too much. Like, that's the important part here is that let's hope he only misses a week and a half, and can be back for the season opener against Seattle. But anytime you hear about guys having their knee buckle on them and the scare of maybe a torn ACL or an MCL, which in this case, there was no structural damage to his knee in regards to the ACL. So that's a good thing. But not having your rookies out there in preseason, getting necessary reps, and I guess it's more of a fan thing just to see what these guys have to offer. But when you are trying to build chemistry in such a very short period of time and see how these guys play together and the stunts they use, and hopefully see your first team defense, whether it is against the Raiders or against the Chargers next week, on the field together for the first time, West was really pushing to be a starter.
Absolutely.
In training camp and in preseason, but now if he misses the remainder of the preseason, that's no Mykel Williams, that's no CJ West. We could be seriously talking about two rookies that were probably going to be on the first team defense, not having at least 2 preseason games under their belt. And in Mykel's case, not a single snap in the preseason. So not great for San Francisco, but thankfully, it doesn't seem to be too serious, but that seems to be kind of the case for San Francisco, narrowly avoiding the serious injury, which we all know sometimes the towel falls and it's like, oh crap, 4 guys are gone for the season in one fell swoop, all out 2020 against the Jets at MetLife Stadium.
Aaron, do you think that CJ West will be ready by week 1? And do you think this is a significant injury for West?
It doesn't seem like it's significant. Yeah, I would assume he's going to be ready for week 1. To me, it's not the singular injuries. It's the volume. Kyle talked about it in the press conference the other day that there are 20 49ers out with injury right. And to me, it just comes down to, and there's people, I get into it with people on social media because I'm always posting like kind of my negative thoughts about the injuries and how, people play off the preseason, like, oh, it's just the preseason. It's just practice. We need them when we need them. We'll get them when we need them, when it's time for the season to start. And I don't think people realize that, like, if you can't make it through practices and the preseason, and the season is a long drudge of a time, like, 1 bye week, 17 games now? Like, it just doesn't, to me, the optics don't look right. The feeling I have is like they've bubble wrapped these guys as much as possible, and you can't protect them. You have to play. You have to practice. You have to play. And to me, it's just really concerning. It's the amount of injuries. You got guys coming in off the street that they sign just because they have number of bodies that they need. And those guys literally get hurt immediately and are out for the season. To me, it's the individual injury. To me, doesn't concern me with CJ West now that I hear it's just a hyperextension of the knee. But to me, the optic, the whole thing with so many players being hurt, my outlook to the season, or my hopes and like what I wanted from the 49ers this year, little by little, it's getting kind of knocked down a peg or two, just because it's like, so many players hurt.
And it's a lot of players. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the newest injuries that were posted yesterday by the team. And this is them right here. So from Kyle Shanahan, we have Nick Bosa, who suffered a sore neck. They hope to have him back next week, which means that he will not play on Saturday. You got Jason Pinnock and Trey Brown, both with heel injuries. That's a little odd. Ben Barch, one of Sterling's favorites, had a bad elbow.
Stop it.
This could be... we're going to talk about Ben Barch in just a minute, because it feels like every time we start saying good things about Ben Barch, all of a sudden he's hurt. And it's been the story of his entire career, is that he's constantly hurt every single year, multiple times a year. And on top of that, we talked about CJ West getting hurt. Also, Andre Dillard, a guy they just activated. He lasted 2 practices, and now he's on injured reserve, out for the year. A guy they spent money on to bring in, and now it's just a waste, because more than likely he's not going to come back. More than likely, he won't be here next season. Who knows? And so that was such a waste for San Francisco. I feel bad for Andre Dillard. Obviously, I'm sure he wanted to play. But looking at all these injuries that we have, and on top of the ones that are already existing, obviously we have the calf injury with Juwan Jennings. I know he posted
It's
something
real,
on,
man.
I mean, he posted on Instagram, but I mean, come on. Really? I think he's trying to save face, and the Niners also want him to save face so that they don't piss anybody off. But looking at all these injuries, I mean, I know Aaron is a little worried about all these injuries. Sterling, what do you make of all these injuries? Do you think these are some injuries that, in fact, the Niners, these players would actually play if it was a regular season?
I do think that we're going to get a lot of guys back in the next week or so. Yetur Gross-Matos, probably Isaac Guerrero before week 1. You're going to see guys like Upton Stout and Pinnock and Richie Grant return and Trey Brown return. Trey Brown did do individual drills yesterday, did not do team drills. So there is a chance he plays tomorrow with an off day today. But I do think that there is a concern, not really with the severity of the injuries, but the totality of them and how many guys are on the shelf. I'm shocked they even had enough players to do a joint practice against Las Vegas yesterday, which I'm happy they did. I do think San Francisco's offense looked really good yesterday, and Brock Purdy had a phenomenal day. But the unfortunate part is that Brock Purdy's not getting reps with Juwan Jennings and now Jordan Watkins. And the guys he is getting reps with, Pearsall, but Demarcus Robinson, who may get suspended. There are guys that are getting reps that may not be there week 1, which is unfortunate, and guys that you hope can be there week 1 aren't currently practicing. On defense, again, with 7 defensive linemen out right now. They have a makeshift, dare I say, bones picked clean defensive line to a point where almost none of the guys practicing or playing are going to make the roster. Maybe outside of Kalia Davis and Bryce Huff and Evan Anderson, but no one else really out there is a guaranteed roster spot. So the good thing about this is that you're going to see more of guys like Sebastian Valdez, young guys, UDFAs that can prove themselves, Corey Kiner and this, that, and the other. But it does feel like that the team is almost starting the year a step behind simply because guys aren't healthy. And I think in a season where you have one of the easiest schedules in football, you have to start off hot. You have Seattle, the Cardinals, and Rams in your first 5 games. And even Jacksonville's probably going to be a little better this year than they were last year. So it's really imperative you start things off hot. And with so many guys on the sideline, it at least makes maybe Aaron and others, including myself, involved in that somewhat, a little hesitant to be like, yep, 5-0, yep, 4-1. It's like, no, you may go 2-3. You may go 3-2 if the guys aren't healthy, which, again, right now is the case.
How do you build chemistry with a young defense that needs reps, like massive reps? I talked with Al from Fortinaires Plus podcast the other day. He doesn't believe there's going to be 5 to 8 new starters, kind of like how Saleh was saying. But still, even if it's 3 new starters on defense, this is ridiculous, man. To me, it's like, how do you take the temperature of this team in the preseason or from practice and then translate it to the season if guys are not playing at all together, at all? And I hate this idea from some people who are fans that are like, it doesn't matter right now. They'll all be back for the regular season. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't make me rest easier. If anything, it stresses me out more because it's like, I mean, dude, it's August, 15th?
15th,
There's 20 guys out with injuries. 20, man.
But how does that translate to other teams? I mean, how many injuries do other teams have? I haven't even looked at that. So that's why, for me, look, are the injuries concerning? Yes, they are. Of course they are. But I think a lot of these injuries, these players would be playing on Sunday if it was a regular season. Michael Williams, I think, would be playing. If the game was Sunday, he'd be playing. TJ West, I'm not sure because it just happened. But a lot of these guys, like the heel injuries for Trey Brown, Jason Pinnock, I think they get out there. So I think Nick Bosa with his neck soreness, kind of like Aaron right now, I think he'd still be out there playing.
I have major neck issues right now.
So I think that now that we're in training camp preseason, we can report on all these injuries and they sound bigger than they really are. Because I mean, look, none of these guys are on IR. None of these guys have been shut down for or on a pup list. No, they're just have some nagging injuries that they want to make sure that they're taking care of ahead of time and not rushing them back.
The Dre Area Sports Show is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use promo code Dre Area Sports to save $20 on your first purchase at SeatGeek.com. And we are also brought to you by Taryn Roy, the SEO Optimizer. If you're looking to boost your YouTube channel, then check out the SEO Optimizer. Use promo code Dre Area Sports to start your free trial today. Power Brand Systems. If you're looking to build a website for your small business or YouTube channel, then check out Power Brand Systems. Use promo code 300POWER to save up to $300 on your first purchase at Power Brand Systems.